Flosstube. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Colleen and this is 𝗙𝗪𝗣𝗚 Stitches and this is Flosstube number 36. So the second one of January, and as promised, I've dug everything out of the finishes closet. I took everything off the hangers because it needs to be like rearranged or made nicer. Some of that stuff was just kind of just like bundled up and clipped together. But anyway, I dug it all out. And we're just going to kind of go through it one by one and ooh and ah over some of this stuff that's been finished for a really long time. But I know that there's people that say that they have plastic tubs full of finishes. So sometimes it's not so much of the, does it ever get up on the wall, but it's the joy of the journey of starting something, finishing something, and then hopefully one day making to the wall. And I have a friend, her name is Joyce. You might see her sometimes. She comments on videos. She lives up in Oklahoma now, but we used to both live in Michigan and work together. And she was like, girl, you do not have enough wall space for all of that stuff, which is 100% true. So I'm not sure what will happen. But so that's what got me thinking, is that some of these smalls probably need to be made into like something that I can put maybe in like a tiered shelf, or find a way to like display it so that it's not just that it doesn't need a spot to hang on the wall. But who knows? But yes, it's a lot. But like I said, and then I keep rescuing things. So like if I see a Noah's Ark cross stitch that I don't have that somebody else finishes, I bring it home, give it a wash and press, reframe it or whatever, if it needs it. I can't help myself like rescuing any Noah's Arks. Hey, if it's one less I have to stitch, I will totally enjoy someone else's stitching. I have no problem with that. So we'll just kind of talk and show things. It's a huge pile. I have no idea how long this video is going to take, but again, without further ado, we'll just kind of get into it. And again, you'll probably hear, if you're new to my channel or haven't watched before, we have two English bulldogs. They're 3 and 2, and poor Sammy. Jasmine's our golden child. She's a very healthy dog. She doesn't have what I would consider typical bulldog problems aside from her leg surgeries. But like she doesn't have a lot of folds. So she's very easy to keep clean. She doesn't seem to have allergies. So she just gets a multivitamin every day. She's fine. Sam, on the other hand, is high maintenance. Oh, that guy, like he's got a lot of folds. He can go from one day looking great to 2 days later, like being all red in the face, and it's not from lack of care because he gets it, but just that fast. But he has a really bad eye infection, and he had it for like 2 weeks, and I thought he was getting better. And about 2 or 3 days off of the medicine that we had, all of a sudden he started getting like ulcers on his eyes. So he went to the emergency vet the other night, and he has an appointment tomorrow. So you might hear their pitter patter of their feet. I don't edit it out. It's just too hard sometimes to try and like do a video and have everything keep quiet. So yeah. So we'll just start. So these are 2 that I finished. One in 2014 and one in 2022. And these were from, I know I'm going to blank on a lot of these, so it'll probably just come to me as I go back. But this was bow-leggy, and I think it's maybe 𝗪𝗪𝗣𝗚, I think. And I'm blanking on the designer, but 𝗙𝗥𝗢𝗏𝗡𝗚. But that was this guy. So I stitched these on, I think this is 18 count linen over 2. So there's bow-leggy, and I think it's 𝗪𝗪𝗣𝗚. It's like a longer name. But yeah, I finished one, and then the other one just kind of went by the wayside, but last year I finished it up. So these I want to make into pillows. I had saw somebody that had posted on Pinterest, and they made them into pillows using like bandana material, and then backed the back of it with like kind of like jean like material. So I think that that's kind of like the look I'm going to go for too. So and I actually bought the pillow forms for these, so I just need to sew the pillows. And if I've mentioned this before, I'm really not the greatest sewer. I can sew, probably if I just took classes and paid more attention to like what I was doing, but so yeah, so those two are fun. I thought those would be great, but the problem is now is with the dogs. I can't tell you how many throw pillows we've gone through. They love to like knock the pillows off the couch, and so a lot of the corners of our throw pillows are kind of frayed because they use them as toys. You can tell we're not very big on discipline at this house, but yeah. So those will probably have to go like in a safe place. But yeah, so the plan is to make those into pillows still. So next I'm just going to pull kind of things randomly. This was a finish I think I finished last year as well. And I can't wait to frame this because I have a really good idea for this. But this was from Fuzzy Fox from Etsy in Pretty Little Produce. And I didn't stitch the border. I just stitched all the vegetables. Because my plan is with this one is to make a frame and make it carved kind of like a roadside sign, like kind of like old fashioned. So the top of it'll say like kind of like art, farm fresh, and underneath it'll say like produce. So that's the plan for that one. But this one I stitched is on like a 28 count. It's kind of like an over dyed, but yeah, so it's kind of to make kind of look like dirt or whatever. So, but yeah, I love this finish. As soon as I saw that pattern, I was like, I have to stitch that. So I started it just before we left Hawaii in 2019. So that wasn't too bad, like start to finish, but like I had it 3/4 of the way done and then was taking my time getting it done. But so yeah, so 3 down, about 100 more to go. But so what can we pull up next? So this one actually, this is going to get framed. In my next video, I cleaned out the garage yesterday. So that's where like my work area, and it's just like a regular garage. I have dreams of someday like making it like all cute. For right now, it's just like our garage that we don't park our cars in. So I had built a couple tables when we lived in Hawaii that I used to kind of like assemble stuff or to paint stuff or whatever. But in my next video, I bought a whole bunch of frames on clearance at Hobby Lobby that I'm going to cut down and do different things with. But this is one of the things that's on the slate to frame, and that's from Bent Creek. I think it's C, but it's from one of their sampler series. But yeah, so I like nautical patterns, so that one is definitely on the chart to get framed probably very soon. So we'll put that over in that house. That's a soon. So and I like I love Bent Creek patterns. I've stitched quite a few Bent Creeks. They've always been one of my favorites. And speaking of, this is a Bent Creek pattern, and I don't remember the name, but I can remember I think it came in like a box, so it might have been like a little kit. But I stitched this in 2011. But I think it was Hope is the it's like a little Hope sampler, but it's super cute. But yeah, so well over 10 years this has been waiting. And at first I was going to make it into a box, and then the box that I bought, something happened, the lid got broken. So that just went by the wayside. It was going to get framed last year. But I do have a little frame that I picked up that's going to be kind of perfect. It's kind of like that slate blue color. So that one is going to get framed very soon too. And what do we have next? Next, this is, I'm not sure at all where this pattern came from. I stitched this a long time ago. I don't remember what date, but it's just a Noah's Ark. But if I find the pattern, like name, I'll kind of go look through back my booklet. I usually try to like write down where I stitched something from. But yeah, just another Noah's Ark. And if you've never been here before, like Noah's Ark is my favorite. So I have plenty of arcs behind me. There's arcs in front of me over here. There's arcs at the side. There's some arcs over here. There's arcs in the back bedroom. There's arcs in the hallway. So someday, as soon as I get my house like nice and clean, like right now I'd be embarrassed to take a tour because like the dogs can destroy the floors in a matter of hours. Like I can mop in the morning and use the steam mop and everything is so nice and clean. And by the end of the day, there's game trails through the house. So there's no keeping up with those two dogs. So yeah. So let's just keep going here. And at least I'll just pull up. Oh, this is another Noah's Ark. But this is, I think, Carriage House samplings. But it's the Noah's stocking. So there's Noah. I stitched this in Korea. My husband was stationed in South Korea for a year. I stayed in Hawaii while he was gone. And I think I went over to visit him like 3 or 4 times. But usually when I would go over, like I would take all my computer and stuff with me to like work from where he was at. So while he was at work, I would either stitch or work. One of the two. But yeah, so I stitched this while I was over there. So I think I finished this in about, 2019. He was there from 2018, late 2000, it was 2018 to end of 19. So, but yeah, and the only thing that was weird about this one is while I was over there, because I was impatient, my DMC, like I never realized, I always thought DMC was probably pretty consistent with their dye lots, but I either had a really old skein, so like right here in the middle of his coat, it's like a little bit lighter than the bottom, but I was so impatient, I didn't want to wait until I got home to finish. So every time I look at it though, but it kind of really reminds me of, like, I don't think maybe anybody else would notice, but yeah, so it's always kind of fun to have like cross stitches like this tied to like certain places or memories or whatever. So, but yeah, and that has just, I'm going to make that into a stocking, but I can't find, I don't want to just use any fabric. So I've kind of been waiting for like the perfect fabric. So my other thought was maybe to get like on spoon flower and just design my own fabric and get some printed off and like make it however I want it to be, because I've searched high and low for something just right for it and it hasn't popped up yet. So, but so next, here's another Noah's Ark. And of course, but this is, I don't remember the designer, but it's the Texas Noah's Ark. And I love this one. And I don't know why I haven't framed it yet. But on the bottom, it says Texas or bust. And then the little like Texas flag. And then I put like a little star button in the middle of the flag. So yeah, that one's super cute. But yeah, I don't remember off the top of my hand. This one I finished in 2018. But I'll have to look up the designer. So like I said, I'll try and put all the information in the bottom. But, and a lot of these need pressing too. And I know, I'll apologize. I probably should have sat down and made like a whole list. But there's just so much. I'm like, oh, that would just take me like a few hours to probably look all this up. And I'll kind of just trickle do it when I have time. But it'll be better time spent just going through all this. So this one's another one of my favorite designers. It used to be Sisters and Best Friends, but I always wish I knew how to pronounce her last name right, but I think it's Amy Brucken or Brucken. So I really apologize for that. But love their patterns, her patterns. So this was Home Baddie Home. And then right now, one of my works in progress is this last Halloween. She did a stitch along. And I think I just have kind of 2.5 more characters to go. So I will definitely get that one finished for Halloween this year so I can get it framed up. But I stitched this one because it was going to be kind of quick to go with it, because I had a leftover piece of fabric I stitched her stitch along on the same. And this is like Kermit. I think it's 36 count, 36 or 40 count. But I've been trying to bump down, even though I have to use a magnifier now, bump down the sizes of fabric that I use, because especially with larger patterns, like I'm trying to keep them small with the hope that someday it will all get framed or whatever. I think I'm going to try and talk my husband into building like a she shed out back or something. So these next two, another favorite designer, of course, Barbara Anna. And this was a kit from Knit Cut, and it was the 4 seasons. And I was going to stitch them. So the first one, this is summer. So there's summer. And if you see how ill placed it is, that's such a waste of fabric. But originally it was a big piece of fabric and I was going to stitch all 4 in a row. Like I swapped out the fabric. And then I decided that I wanted to stitch them separately and create like their own card frame and hang them as a set versus one like long thing. And if I would have been smart, I should have stitched these on smaller count fabric so that they could have been like really kind of small and cute, but I didn't. So that's why I'm really not that bad at like finding the center, but that was how that one started out. So that was summer and this is spring. So I still have fall and winter to stitch. So I need to get going on those because I have a really fun idea to frame these up. So love Barbara Anna. So a couple more for the pile. And then this one, I tried for the life of me to remember who this designer was from, but it's like a little Noah's Ark, but it also came there was something about maybe sunshine in the title. I can't remember, but it came with like three other patterns in the book, 3 or 4. But I bought it just for like the art pattern. But I don't know when I finished this. This was a long time ago. I can't even see the date on it now. But yeah. So if I find that one, I'll post it too. But just a cute little arc. So I'll probably try to find some like cute little frame to put that one in. So let's see. This was one, I think I just stitched this. It was just a couple years ago or a year ago or so. This was a pattern from Hands On Design. Just I Love You. When I get farther down in the pile, in 2013, I was mobilized. And so at nighttime, you know, like you were just in your room, and I stitched a lot. So I pretty much stitched 1 ornament a week, and I was going to make like I have a whole bunch of like love finishes to do, you know, like a little like tray or something with all like love patterns. Well, the patterns got done, but the finishing didn't. So one of these days, but yeah, those will go with those. So I'll kind of sit that off the side with the things I need to do list or whatever. This was a freebie pattern. And again, I don't have the designer right now, but I will put it below. It was like a little patriotic finish, and it's super cute. So I did this on maybe, this might be 32 count. Yeah, it's kind of small, but the plan is, so on the flag, I left like a long piece of DMC thread. It's just like a single strand. So the plan is how this little crow over here is like holding a piece of string to the like bunting on the bottom. I'm going to make a frame, and I'm going to carve like the bird sitting on top of the frame, and he'll be holding this string in his mouth. So that's the plan for that one. It'll be so cute when it's done. So why don't I just hurry up and do it, right? But yeah, so that's the plan for that one. Sometimes I do that. Like if I'm stitching something and have an idea like that, I kind of add to it. So this needs to get done like this year. I need to make like a pointed effort to get this done. But this is from Brooks Books. That's always a tongue twister to me to say her name. Brooks Books. And I love her patterns. I've always loved the things that she designed. When she first came out, I was working at a needlework shop back home. And I just remember thinking like how unique her patterns were. It was different at the time. And but I've always loved how she does faces on her characters and her designing. So this one's a big one. So, and again, I honestly, once I get this framed, I'm really not sure where it's going to go. I might have to build a she shed after all. But so I ended up stitching them all in a row. And originally, when I first started stitching this, we lived in a 2-story house, and they had very high ceilings up and down, ample wall space, you know, like then the big wall going up the staircase. So I had lots of room. So the plan was to like, but now, you know, things change, we move, and now I should have stitched it so it was more square, but I really, really love how this turned out. So the only thing I think I did different was on the yellow brick road. I added a metallic on the brick, but otherwise like each character, and let me see, I'll get a little closer, is like dyed. So I kind of did what she did. So like before I stitched each character, I kind of dyed around where they would be standing. So like I did running threads, like I mapped it all out. And so each character kind of has like that little like tea-dyed halo around them. So I really love how this came out. But yeah, this piece is like one of my favorites. But and then oh, and I did add, it's kind of hard to see. I should probably take some close-up pictures, but a lot of the patterns I added beads. So I'll kind of just it's a little different than her charting, but I like to do that. But so like his little whiskers are beads. The butterfly has beads, stuff like that. Like the little joints on the Tin Man have beads, stuff like that. So this has been finished. I don't think, did I date it? Oh, I did. I finished it just in 2018. But a lot of that was just like the back stitching and stuff. But otherwise the stitching was done for a while. But yeah, this poor thing just sits in the closet waiting. It's so pretty. So sad sometimes too. So here's another one. This was, I think, from a book. and I can't remember because I didn't date when I finished it, but I probably finished this maybe around 2010 or 11. But I'll just hold it up so you can see. So it's like a heart, and it was like a sewing heart, and I added our initial L at the bottom. But I did kind of like how they did, like the little skeins of floss are actually like 3D. They're tacked down. But like, so I had like added some pearl buttons. What else is on here? There's like an actual needle. And I noticed that I did that, and it's actually like stitched in there. But I can't remember if I coded the needle. So I might need to go back and do that. And I'm trying to think. Oh, and then the floss, I substituted, there's actually over-dyed ribbon right there. So yeah. So the plan is to like try and find either like a heart-shaped box, or this might have something I have to make myself. I'm not sure. But I saw this pattern and I just loved it. So I wanted to do it, and I did. And here it is. So yeah, there's really no plan, but I really need to do something with it because it's just so pretty. So yeah. And then let's see, what else can we pull out here? I'll show those in a little bit. Here's one I'll just show. This is a pattern I actually designed myself. So I've kind of dabbled in like making some of my own designs, and I've just never done anything more with it. But when we lived in Hawaii, I thought, oh, let me make a cross stitch of like every state that we've lived in or every place we've visited. So I started with Hawaii, and I haven't gone any further than that. But this is how it came out. I'll get a little closer. So it was kind of like a little tribute to where we live. So it says aloha on the top, and the little hula girl, and then the state fish, I can't say that really long word, the hama. And then it just says Oahu 2019. And then like a little turtle, and the Hawaiian flowers and a little bird on top. But yeah, so I need to get that framed up. And I need to chart it too. I should probably get back into doing that a little bit, but I like to illustrate and stuff like that. So I don't know why. It just kind of like fell by the wayside. You know how it is. Like, but here's a couple more I'll just show you too. These were ones I still need to, I'm going to remake the frames because I did it different before and I would have a better idea now. So I'm going to reframe these, but these are like little patriotic smalls. So there's like a Statue of Liberty and Uncle Sam and a soldier for like, and I called it like little bits of freedom. And then this one was little bits of Easter. So there was a sheep, a bunny, and a little chick. So it says peep, hop, and ba. So yeah, so those just need new frames. Put them back there on the pile. So yeah, so I still like to dabble every once in a while. So here's one. I'm just gonna dig through the pile. Another one of my favorite designers, and maybe somebody can let me know. And I've asked a couple people, but Stitchy Kitty. I really liked her patterns, and I have a bunch that I still need to finish. I have some kitted up, but I've always really loved her patterns. So, but I don't know if she just like stopped designing, retired. Not sure, but that makes me sad because I like her patterns a lot. So this was one from, it was in a book, I think, and it was like woodland critters. But so cute. There's like the little bunny, a squirrel, a raccoon, a bear. But the plan for this one was I was gonna carve the bottom of the frame to look like a little stump. So it was like kind of like woodlands with like little, like kind of like cut branches off the bottom and stuff like that. So that one I just stitched last year, I think, 2 years ago. But when I was doing my one a week, like smaller patterns. So. But yeah, so next, I'll just grab one and keep going. So a bunch of arcs. So let me go through it. So this is a pile I pulled out. These are all Noah's Ark patterns that I rescued. So most of them I've already given a wash and press, but I just need to reframe them. And some of them are older. But like I said, like sometimes I find them in thrift shops. Once in a while, like on eBay. But I can't resist when, like rescuing an arc. So like I said, if it's one less that I have to stitch on my own and enjoy them hanging on the walls, like I said, it makes me happy. So, but this one is an older one. Somebody stitched this in 1986 with the initial CT. But The outside is a little bit dirty, but once I like what do you call it? Pin it back out, it should be fine. But that's a cute one. But yeah, so there's one arc. So I'll just kind of go through these really quick. This one was in great shape. Sometimes like the frames are kind of beat up, but that's okay. Because like I said, I take them apart and give them a wash and press. But this was, I think, a dimensions kit. Beautiful stitching. The back is so neat. Like, yeah. That's what I was so excited to get. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, yeah, that would have taken me months to stitch. But now I can enjoy it in my closet. So yeah, it's sad. I have to get some of these, like I said. We're done. And this was somebody that stitched this JMN in 1995. But this was another arc that I rescued. So I got a wash and press. But super cute. And like I said, so many like very nice and neat stitchers. This was one, and like I said, I think that was a kit as well. I just remember it being a kit. Some of these I actually owned as kits, but, you know, like you can't stitch it all, but you can have it all. But this was a Christmas arc, and the only thing I think I'm going to do different about this is, I don't know if you can kind of see like those confetti stitches. I think I'm going to take these out. So this one wasn't signed or dated. But I'm going to replace those confetti stitches, instead of them blue, make them white. So it's like snow. So that was the plan when I rescued that one, to kind of change that up a little bit. But I love, anytime I find a Christmas arc, I have a couple actual like carved Christmas arcs. They're so cute. And this one wasn't signed or dated either. And this one I still have to wash and press. This one's still a little bit dirty. But so I've always loved this one. So they stitched it a little bit different than the kit, but look at the back is like so like perfect. Like when I say it's like, it's almost, you can't even almost tell where they tucked in their threads. Like it's beautiful stitching. But this one I still need to wash and press, but like amazing. I wish they would have initialed it so that, I don't know, like I like that. And this was the final one. Oh no, there's one more. This was a Noah's Ark. This came out of a magazine. I still have the magazine. But I think they stitched the colors a little bit different, but so there's that one. And then finally there's this one. This was stitched by, it just says homemade by Joanne in 1993. And get those off there. But this was another one, like so beautiful. And the back is like perfect. I'm like, yeah, I don't ever think anybody's going to pick up some of my stitching. Sometimes I can be neat. It just depends on what it is. What was I just stitching on? Oh, that Knit Chicks. The back. No, if someone ever takes that apart, they're going to say, oh, she needs sewing lessons. So this one is from Sabrosa, from Etsy. And this is P is for pumpkin. And I finished this one just last year. And I had a frame. I started making a frame for this and I didn't like it, like what I was doing. So I stopped and I kind of need to rethink. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes the idea that I start out with isn't like what I want to end up with. So these back here on the drawer. Okay. So next, this is I can't remember the designer. But this is an old one. This was stitched a long time ago. But just another Noah's Ark. So I'll stick that back there. Try to fold this up so it's not so crazy. So here's a bunch of stuff that I have pinned out. So I started one day and I'm like, maybe if I just get everything pinned out, then I'll get it framed up. Well, it hasn't happened yet. So this one, I don't have it pinned out yet, but I have the foam core cut. It's a designer from overseas, and I'm totally blanking on the name, but it's the Four Seasons. So they're spring, and I started summer, and it's in my whip pile over there. So I'll do maybe like next week, do a whip, what do you call it, video. And but these patterns to me are so sweet. So I think I want to do just like really subtle frames. So I don't think I'll maybe carve anything on them, but I'll like either do something with the router, with like the frame, with the molding or whatever. But I'm still not sure with that, but yeah, there's a spring, summer, winter, and fall. But as soon as I saw them, they're just so sweet. So, and then I finished this one last year too. It was from 𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗦, the gnomes, the Christmas gnomes, and I have the Halloween gnomes pattern, but I just haven't stitched it yet. So they're so cute. So yeah, I kind of fell in love with gnomes. Like, I'm trying not to fall into too many trends because, you know, like I have enough stuff. But like after a while, I'm just like, you can't resist the gnomes. They're so cute. So I actually have like a gnome cookie jar, and then I bought like a gnome to sit by this, like a little gnome mug that like the hat comes off. It has like a lid. So and yeah, but I'm not gonna like go all out and decorate a whole house full of gnomes, but I kind of like them. So this was one I finished, like someone finished. It was either me, maybe my stepmom stitched this one, but a long time ago. Like, so, but I have the foam core cut. So care for every pair, it says. I'm not sure. This was like a little card. It came on a little card. I remember that. But I'm not sure who the designer was off the top of my head. So, and this one is an old one too. Have no idea now who the designer was, but it says plan ahead. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. So that's a cute one. I was thinking about, now that I have the foam core cut, seeing if I could find more like of a circle frame or maybe an oval frame that would fit that. So I might have to look around. So I might change my mind on that. That might go in a circle. So who knows? And this one was from, I believe it was from Just Cross Stitch magazine. But I finished this one about 4 years ago, I guess. But I still love this one. And I did change the top. I don't remember what it said up there in the pattern, but I changed it to say Noah's ABC. I don't remember, but I do remember I changed it. So I remember always looking at this one in the magazine, and then one day I'm like, all right, let's get that stitched. So I kind of like it. These two are almost like the same like color palette. So those will look real cute hanging next to each other when I get them framed. So, and then this is an 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗧𝗨𝕕. I have a couple here from her. There's another one. Let me dig through. It's somewhere in here. I thought it was right here, but it says art collector. Oh, there it is. Sorry, wrong pile. So this was the first one, and I don't know why I didn't do these on the same fabrics, but so that's the 𝗪𝗡𝗧𝗨𝕕 Noah's Ark, and then this came with it, art collector. And I think I probably stitched one first and then forgot about it and then stitched the other, but it would have been cute if they would have been on the same color fabric, but that's okay. So yeah, I always liked 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗧𝗨𝕕's patterns too. They're cute. So there's those. Like I said, so many of these are pinned out and ready to go that I don't know. I thought I was doing good. I was like, oh, maybe we're about halfway through the pile. No, we're not. So yeah, hopefully you made yourself a cup of tea and you're comfortable, right? So this is a Lizzie Kate. And I don't stitch a lot of her patterns. I have a couple in here. There's more as I dig down. Here's another one. Let's pull out really quick. But every once in a while, I think they're great. Like, especially if you want to give like a quick gift. There's some cute ones you can stitch up quick. So, but not huge. But there's Happy Easter. And that's a cute one. So I've always been trying to. There's somebody that I commented the other day about wanting to like stitch more. Like you already have like a lot of certain holidays. And I need more like 4th of July. And I do like Easter patterns. I mean, I don't really like necessarily decorate for Easter. I really only decorate for, I would say, like Halloween, Christmas, and 4th of July. But to like, maybe not Eastery, but more like springish. But yeah, the Easter patterns are cute too. So, and then this was a Lizzie Kate, Be Kind to Animals. And it was part of like a series, like Earth series or something, like Be Kind to the Earth or whatever. But I just thought that would be a cute one to like stitch to put with like all my other dog patterns and stuff that's up there on the shelf. So, but yeah, and then let's go down the line. So 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗧𝗨𝗕 again. This is when I finished. I like her really like her Dreaming Girls. So this was I'll have to say the exact name of what the dreamer is, but the one for Halloween. This was a fun stitch. I liked how this one came out. And the colors against the fabric choice. So that one's pinned up, ready to go. I really don't have a plan yet for the frame. I just pinned it out thinking it would like jumpstart creative juices. But, and then this one is from 𝗪𝗡𝗪𝗚𝗪𝗡𝗚 from Etsy. And it was last year's monthly series. And I didn't look yet to see if she's doing one this year or not, but I'll have to check it out. But I really love this one from last year. So there's September. And then up there on that shelf right there, I have a bunch from last year. I still think I have 2 or 3 left to stitch. I got behind, and so this one's pinned up, ready to go. And I actually did the beading around the bases I got 2 done. So, but I think I have 3 finished waiting to be framed. If I can dig through here really quick, I'll show the other 2. If not, they might have to wait till we don't know who they are. So there's September, and I have November to frame. That one came out really cute with the raccoon. He's super cute. So I pinned that one out, and then March with the little frog. And I think, I'm trying to look up there. I didn't see it until it was like a few months into last year. So I didn't start until April. So I have April, May, June, July, and August framed up there. And then once I get them all done, I'll show them like all together. So I have March, so that means I have January, February, and December left to go. And October. October might be done. I'll have to look. There might be another one in the pile. It's so hard to keep track. But yeah, so those, I love those patterns. So I probably shouldn't look because I have enough to do, but I'm a sucker for like monthly series and stuff like that. Also a sucker for never finishing them because I still have the Snowflower Diaries that I still need to finish, and I don't know what month. I know I'm like at least caught up until I think July, but I need to get those done. I said that last year, but yeah. So here, speaking of monthly series, here's a monthly series that I have from, the name of the company is 𝗦𝗧𝗦𝗧𝗧. And I still think I have some back stitching to do. I need to like add eyes. There's still a few things left to do. I probably just left it off, but it was a Noah's Ark series. So there's like February, and here is October in no random order. October and December, and I think that's all that's done. But I have all of the different color Aida pieces to to stitch them all out. So it's just a matter of getting them in the rotation and knocking them out. Maybe that's what I would do for next year's. This might be a good next year's whip go, is to just slap all these on a board and make it just be like, you got to get these done. So, but they're super cute. But again, like, not sure. I guess those are things you can just hang up one a month. Put the other 11 in the closet or something. So, so another one of my favorite designers, Fancy That. I always liked their patterns. So I've stitched a few of them, but there is 40 Days and 40 Nights. And then I have over there on the wall right now, Noah and Company. But I always liked Fancy That patterns. I kind of like that, like their style of primitive, or their interpretation of primitive. So, and I have still a bunch in my like pattern binders of stuff that I would like to stitch someday, but we'll see. But this is also another Lizzie Kate on Noah's Noel. Like I said, anytime I can find anything that combines Christmas and Noah's Ark, like I get. So there's that one. So that was done a long time ago, sadly. Both that and the Fancy That a long time ago, probably at least 15 years plus. So, and here's another one, but I see it's been sitting around so long, I have to replace the button. But this is a stand up, and I can't remember who this is from, but pretty sure it came on a card. But this was a little like giraffe button, and his head's busted off. So I have to go on the hunt. I'll have to do a Google. I'll put that on my list of things to do. Look for a new giraffe button or something. Maybe I can even make one. Who knows? But okay, so let's keep going. Next one, random order, another Barbara Anna. This one I just finished. It was another Dreaming Girl. And I have an idea. This one I'll have to do a card frame for this one. So I have an idea of what I want to do for that. Probably either something with like that lighthouse and some waves on the bottom, but I just really liked how this one came out. But like I said, I like nautical. Both of my bathrooms are kind of nautical themed. In the bathroom that's closest to me, I have like the cut through lighthouse from 𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗪 𝗪𝗓, and then 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗧𝗏 threads, and then the beach hut is in there, and then hands-on design, rusting beach face is in there. So yeah, I gotta keep the beach theme going. So these I can stick cross stitches. I try to stick them anywhere I can. So in this next pattern, I have a couple. I'm not going to dig through right now. When I get to it, I'll just say it again. But she has a blog, and I think it's Gazette. I've mentioned it before. It's either Gazette 94 or Gazette 95. But she was just a designer that gave away her patterns for free. And she has such cute things. So I've stitched a few of her things, but this one was an autumn heart. It has like 2 squirrels. And this one was using Needle Necessities. And I don't remember the color, but it's perfect because it kind of goes from like ochres to rust to brown. But and then later in this pile, there's like a beach heart. So I need to figure out how to like frame those or either make them into pillows or something. I don't know. But this was from a magazine, and I don't remember. It's been a long time since I stitched it, but I changed the color of the hair, but it says Dare to be Different. So the original pattern had kind of like reddish hair, so I changed it to blonde. But this is so cute, and I need to get it framed, but it's just it's just sitting here. So okay, my pile's getting a little deep here. Do the back. All right. And this one has been pinned out for a while. This was actually a rescue. Someone had started stitching this and didn't want to stitch it anymore, so I finished it. And it was only, I would say maybe about half done. But this was from Dimensions. I think it was called like Art at Heart or Heart something. But it was a Dimensions book that had a bunch of different patterns in it. But this was the Noah's Ark one on there. And it's so cute. So that one's one that can get framed. I'll just stick all this stuff over here. All right. And then this was a Noah's Ark. I think this was a Dimensions, like a little mini kit, which is a little tiny Noah's Ark. So I'll probably do this something like just a little tiny frame. I won't make this anything fancy. A lot of these just, like I said, keep them small and someplace to go. And this one's another tiny one. This was on Mill Hill, Noah's Ark. I finished this one. I think I stitched this one in Korea too, 2019. I have a couple. Like, yeah, I would stitch at night, and I got a lot done because I'm just like watching TV and stitching. So yeah, it's nice. And then this is another 𝗪𝗡𝗪𝗏 in All Creatures Great and Small. And this was a book. I think there's like quite a few patterns from this book. So yeah, so a few 𝗪𝗡𝗪𝗏s to get finished up there. Poor 𝗪𝗡𝗪𝗏. She's been waiting a while. So this is Shepherd's Bush, and this was a kit. It was I think it was called The Promise. And this, I love this, and I have an idea how I want to frame this because I want to keep it like kind of like the color soft, and I just have an idea of how I want to frame it, but I haven't done it yet. But I was kind of sorry it's so wrinkled. That's sad. And then I chose to add all of I changed the charms are all like sterling silver. So there's like a fish, a turtle, an alligator. I kind of swapped them out. And I added some beads in a couple places too. This pattern was the reason that I went out and bought a new router table that I have all set up, but I haven't played with any of the different bits that, you know, like that make different patterns and whatever. So I need to do that so I can get that framed. And then this was a perming kit, but I swapped out the fabric. So I did it on that fabric like that. It has the little polka dots, the petite dots. And then I did change out, I don't like those plastic rings that they put in those kits. So I ordered some kind of like, they're hard to see, but they're like metal gray, like just little rings. I don't even know what they would originally like be used for, but I added those. So it's the, I think it was called Elves and Snowman was the name of the pattern, but it's big. So again, wall space issues, but it's so cute. And that was another thing. I like to stitch Advent I'm not sure why. It was just like a thing. Like I stitched one and then I'm like, oh, I like Advent. So like the countdown and stuff like that. So I'll probably do something fun with this and to hang with my other Advent. And I have a bunch of other Advent patterns, but like I said, with like wall space, I either have to take everything down and put everything back up. Like I wish that I had more room, like our old house, to just put everything up and leave it up year round. The back hallway going down to the spare bedroom, it's like a mother-in-law suite back there, but the one hallway going down there, I have all of like Halloween hanging. So I just leave that up because I still like to look at it. It's sad to have to like take it down and put it up, but all right. So next, this is from one of the Just Cross Stitch ornament issues, and I'm not sure which one. Like I said, I'll kind of research all this later, but this one's so pretty. Keep Christmas in your heart. But then I added all the like little white beads. If those were dots, I turned them into beads. So this is so pretty, and I need to. So many times I was gonna like stitch this up and give it for a gift, and it just hasn't got done. I finished that in 2012. So there's that. And then I just recently finished this. So it's a rerun from a couple videos ago, but Bent Creek's Arc Mantle. So happy to get this one done. It sat like half finished for a really long time. And so the buttons though, I just added, like the other one had like a little flag down here, I think, but I just added some little yellow stars. Kind of simple. So need to get, so this was a recent finish. So Bury Me with My Needle from Lindy Stitches. And as soon as I saw this one, like I said, I have like 50 works in progress over there, but there's some patterns. There's another one in here I'll show later. As soon as you see it, like, I'm like, I have to stitch that. That has to go on my Halloween wall. So I just stopped what I'm doing. I actually stitched this pretty fast. Like how sometimes you just get the bug of once you start something, you can't not finish it. So next is another 𝗪𝗪𝗖𝗓, and this was like the Winter Dreamer. Like I said, I just showed this one a couple of videos ago, but I did it kind of like on an olive green. I thought it went really good with the purple. So she's all done. So yeah, I have a whole bunch of, I put the Dreamer girls at the end of like the hallway, like when you're walking down to the other end of the house. Like right before you turn to go to the mother-in-law suite or go into the garage, I hung like a big farmhouse mirror. And so all the Dreamer girls are going to go there. So far they are. That's the space they've claimed. So, and then that hallway also has a painting in it. And I really like the painting, but I'm like, I might just have to take that down and I don't know, put it out in the garage or something. So, and then next, actually is another Lizzie Kate. Love my dog, but I added an S. And it says Jazz and Sam. And then I added a little charm that says good dog. So, oh, sorry, I'm windy yawn. I got terrible sleep last night. I've been setting my alarm throughout the night every 4 hours. So I got up at 2, gave Sam his eye drops, then got up at 6, eye drops. But last night, after that 2 o'clock alarm, I could not fall asleep. You know how sometimes you're just like restless and toss and turn. I couldn't get comfortable. And then I finally fell asleep probably about 30 minutes before the alarm went back off again. So anyways, so next, again, another Stitchy Kitty. I just finished this one right before Christmas, 𝗪𝗡𝗍 Navidad. And this one came out of a book. It was I think it's a Craftways book. I can look, it's right here. I think it was Craftways A Cross Stitch Christmas. It is. So it was this one, Craftways Cross Stitch Christmas from, they are, so I retried my statement. So those are 𝗪𝗪𝗖𝗓. So I'll show you the 2 patterns. I'm sorry about that. I'll add part of that out. So there was 𝗪𝗡𝗍 Navidad and Santa Claus. So yeah, those are 𝗪𝗪𝗖𝗓s. But out of this book is Stitchy Kitties from Michelle Lutzen. These I have the fabric all pulled for, but it's Snow, Blow, and Glow. This was originally why I looked for this book. But then, like I said, as I went through the book, then I was like, oh, wait, I want to stitch that. So I stitched the 𝗪𝗡𝗍 Navidad. And then there's a lot of cute patterns in this book. But this book for me was very hard to track down. I got super duper lucky, but This is another one. I think this is also, yeah, this is also from Stitchy Kitty. It's Joy. And then the other, there's another pattern from, right here from 𝗪𝗡𝗪𝗏, and it's the Winter Wonderland or something like that, or Woodland Christmas. But that one is really cool too. So whether I ever get to it or not, but yeah, that's one of those books that I'm going to hang on to at least until I finish Snow, Blow, and Glow. So I'm sorry about that. So yes, this was a Barbara Anna. So Feliz Navidad. So I'll edit out the part that I was leafing through the book. But, so you won't even see that. So another Barbara Anna. This one I just finished too. This was, I did the stitch along and this pattern came with it. So it was the dreaming, another dreaming girl. So, and I'm not sure how I'll frame this one either. I have a couple that like I do card frames, but then others with just like a more simple frame. So I might just do this one in a more simple frame. I'm not really sure yet though. So haven't decided. And this one, I have no idea who the designer is. It probably came out of a magazine, but it's super old. But it says Happy Easter Bunny. So that'll kind of go in like my Easter pile. And this is one that I designed that went with the little, I have some Christmas little patterns that I stitched, but it just says Happy Holidays, and that was in 2011. So maybe I'll rechart that one too, give it out as a freebie or something. And then another Barbara Anna. This was stitched a long time ago too, probably about 10 years ago or so. But that was it's going to be a, how do you say, biscornu? I can't say that word. But the little Easter one. So now I'll find maybe like a cute button to go in the middle, or I might even carve something to go in the middle. But kind of like I did with the pumpkins. I don't know if you saw those, but and then this, it's like a good idea, bad idea, but this was a Lizzie Kate, and it was a reindeer, and I used like the little rusty, I thought, oh, that'd be cute to use like the little rusty jingle bells on it, but I've just noticed that it's starting to make the fabric, I guess it makes it just look tea-dyed, but yes, so beware if you use rusty anything to decorate your cross stitch, coat it in nail polish first. So, but that one's a cute one. So these were all the little smalls. This little pile that I'm going to go through now are all the smalls that I stitched when I was mobilized that 1 year. So there's that. And then this is a Heart in Hand, the love, I think it's like one of the leggies, I think. But yeah, the leggy snowman, I think maybe it's called. But so yeah, like I said, I was stitching a whole bunch of patterns that were like love theme. And then this one I just kind of like hand charted myself, but it was like my husband loves Texas Longhorns. It was probably supposed to be a gift for him. Here it is, still waiting for him. So, and this one was a Bent Creek. A lot of these came out of the Just Cross Stitch Christmas ornament magazines. So this was from Bent Creek, and that was Joy. So a lot of these are like my favorite designers, whether it was like Bent Creek or Shepherd's Bush, or and some of them are kind of just random, but. And then this one, I don't remember the designer, but I added the buttons. So it says peace. And then I added a couple little buttons. So I'm not sure what my idea was there, but it got a little close to the bottom edge of the fabric. And then I was going to stitch all of these, and I started and never finished. But it was the Shepherd's Bush series from all the different Just Crosses magazines. So maybe one day I'll go back to it. But that was The Angels Sang, and this was Joyful Nights. I just started and then never finished, and I'm not sure why, but. And then this one was to commemorate our time together. I was the unit I was attached to was the 7240th from Missouri, and they were an awesome group. I still miss that group to this day. Like when I say like it was awesome, and so I ended up picking a guitar because our commander was a guitar player. So and we were mobilized out of El Paso, and that was 2012. So I kind of did a commemoration to that. So. It says Feliz Navidad, so that's why I did it like for Christmas, so Christmas colors, and the Mexican flag. So, yeah, and then I never did anything with it, but yeah, no, that was a great group. both times I was deployed in 2009 and 10, I was with the 14th Cash out of Fort Benning, Georgia. And just like a little side story. And I'm telling you, that was like, that group of people was so awesome. I mean, obviously I met my husband there too, but I've made like lifelong friends out of that group of people. But as far as like working together, you know, like a lot of times, like we came together from all different, like I ended up going, I actually wasn't even in Georgia at the time. They pulled me from, I was up at DC at Walter Reed. And so like you kind of just get people from everywhere. So it's not necessarily like a collective group of people that are always together. So you wouldn't think sometimes that would work. And sometimes it doesn't. But both times I have been with, like, when I say fantastic groups of people, but we had both times, both of my commanders were awesome. So yeah, shout out. I miss everybody from those groups. So here's another one. I have no idea where this pattern came from. I would really have to look, but it's just the Eiffel Tower, and it says, "I love you" in French. And then I used our initials. So just another love pattern. And then here's another one. This came off of a little card, I think, but it was just like a little heart, again with our initials. I just thought that was pretty. I was just like stitching random stuff. Like every week I'd be like, okay, I'm going to do another pattern. And this one says, "You are so dear to me." So a lot of these I don't even remember back then. Like some of them I do because I recognize the designer, but like those I don't. But this was a Lizzie Kate, I think. It says, "Feeling festive." And I like that one. That one's cute. And then these two, these are actually ones I designed myself. So again, I should probably chart these out and like do something with them. But I did a boy snowman. So there's the boy snowman. And he's holding like a little bird on his arm, his stick arm. And then it's hard to see, but there's little beads. So like the snow and then some iridescent for parts of the snow. So that was the boy. And then this was the girl, and she has poinsettias. So they were supposed to meant to be like a set to go together. So who knows? One of these days I might like do something with those. And then this, I'm pretty sure this was probably like a Mill Hill kit, but it was 40 days and 40 nights. And they have the little Starmic Mill Hill buttons. I have to double check, but I think that was a Mill Hill pattern. And then this was the other, when I mentioned before about the Gazette 95. I think it's Gazette 95. I'll dig through because I've talked about her before in one of my other videos. But if she still has her blog up, I'm pretty sure she does. I'm telling you, like, she should have just been like a designer you buy patterns from because she has so many cute things, like really cute things. But this was the nautical heart. And again, this was Needle Necessities. So it goes from like green to blue to like a darker bit of blue, but it's like, it is perfect to me. Like, I really like Needle Necessities thread. I don't use it often enough, but I really like it. I have tons of it too. I probably have every color, but you know, sometimes I just forget about I have it. And then this was, I don't remember. I'd have to look up, but I know that I changed out the metallic threads, but it's just our initial for St. Patrick's Day. So I was trying to like fill in some holidays I don't have a lot of stuff for. And then this is I think this is a Val's Stitches, Merry Texmas, pretty sure. But I'm not sure if it said Texmas and I added that. I think it's just, that's the pattern how it is. But I actually have a little frame started for that, but never got finished. And then this is a Redbird Designs Texas heart. And then I just added, this is actually that little star. I've talked about this before. It's just one of those brads. So like I just really carefully slide the brad in between like the hole. And I use brads a lot. They're like, you get them at any scrapbooking place. But it's just kind of like an alternative, something else to use on cross stitches. So there's that one. And then this was a Better Homes and Gardens pattern. And it was originally a freebie. And I have not been able to find the pattern since, but I did it twice. So I did it once, like really subdued. That was with Needle Necessities thread again. And then I stitched it over one, just using Needle Necessities red. So it kind of just gives like a different look. But maybe for Valentine's, I'll finish out one of these, like maybe both of them, I don't know. But I bought paper mache heart boxes, and they pretty much like fit the shape of it. It's not perfect, but I bought a little one and a bigger one. So that was the original plan with those. It didn't go any farther than that. So, and then this was, I think this was in a magazine, 𝗪𝗡𝗪𝗧𝗨𝗕. This might have been an overseas magazine. But that was a cute one. Like I said, I did a whole bunch of like heart and love patterns. And then this one, I don't remember the pattern designer either, but it just says love. And I did it, it's on like white iridescent fabric. And then the same thing with this one was just the shape of Texas with the word love in the middle. And then this was, I'm pretty sure this came out of one of the just cross-stitch ornament magazines. And this, I'm not going to guess at the designer, but I'm almost positive that this one came out of there. No, like I said, back in 2013. These are all dated, so that's the pile of all the smalls. We're almost done. So just a couple more to go. There is a few, I'm missing a couple, and I'm not really sure where they're at. Oh, there's a couple right here that I still have to finish framing that aren't framed up. So this was a 𝗪𝗡𝗢𝗦𝗧𝗨𝗕, like it's a little strawberry. I can't remember what the actual name of the pattern, but that's a 𝗪𝗡𝗢𝗢𝗦, so there's that one. And then I have this one all pinned out, and I have a round frame, but I have to do something else to it. But this was also from 𝗪𝗡𝗢𝗢𝗦, and I've got a couple of these smaller ones like that that I'm going to put on a shelf back there. And then this was the one I was missing. This was from 𝗦𝗧𝗜𝗧𝗨𝗕. And this was another one that as soon as I saw it, I had to stitch it. But this was a frame, so I was trying to find, it's hard to find oval frames, first of all, and then to find them in certain sizes. Like you can find like 5x7 but to find something that would go in this. So I actually ordered this from a man in the Ukraine from Etsy. And I can put the link below. And it took maybe about a month and a half to get, but it finally came. And honestly, you know, like with everything that's going on over there, like I thought to myself, you know, I'll just order it. And honestly, if I never get it, like if it helped out, it helped out. But it did come. So, and it's really nice. It's perfect size. But I'm not going to keep it white, I don't think. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with it. But I do want to carve either some like little toadstools to kind of like embellish like the bottom and attach to the frame. So this one I kind of got to think through because I don't want to ruin the frame because honestly, I don't think I could cut my own oval frame because this is pretty nice. So I don't know how he does it, but it's pretty perfect. So let's stick this one up there. So yeah, so I have a whole bunch, like I said, of 𝗪𝗡𝗢𝗦𝗧𝗨𝗕s. This next one, these next two are both rescues. You know, this is one of those things, like I'm complaining about wall space, but when I saw this, like I couldn't not rescue it because it's so cute. And I've done a few 𝗪𝗪𝗢𝗦 patterns. So I've done the flock. So I've showed that in one of my previous videos, and one of these days I'll kind of take a tour of how I have cross stitch in my house. But I did the flock, and that was one of those that, like, I think just to stitch that pattern, just for the patterns, was like $77, which is kind of ridiculous. I'm not going to lie. But even, like, I'm a designer, like a pseudo kind of designer too, but it was one of those patterns that I had to have. So I stitched the flock. So I have that. Like I have a couple different, I really like 𝗪𝗪𝗢𝗦 patterns too. And actually I have an Advent pattern. There's a bunch of them in my stash, but I just haven't gotten around to. But as soon as I saw this one, I had to get it because I almost bought this and I can't read the initials of the person that stitched it. Because it's in like a really, it might be JG, but 2019. But it's beautiful stitching. Like the front is almost as nice as the back. But this was the one that it says, on the off chance you won't live forever, you may as well be happy now. And to me, it's just like a great, it's a great saying. But I was like, I can't, it's so cute. But I think I would have room for this in my kitchen if I move. I have like a big cabinet in there if I just move that cabinet over. And I've almost thought of getting rid of that cabinet. Because it just houses stuff. You ever have, I mean, I have a couple of those. We have a secretary in our entryway that just has stuff in it. But I could probably get rid of some of the stuff that's in there. And it's a nice cabinet, but like I said, when you're kind of short on space, you have to kind of make sacrifices. But that would be a great wall to like put shelves and just like fill it full of like either stitches or like even put some mirrors there just to like brighten it up. But I don't know, we'll see. Or just build an addition on the house. And then finally, this was also a rescue, but as soon as I saw it, it doesn't even, the frame was broken. So I couldn't, so it's all pinned out and ready to go. I'm not even going to do anything different except for make a new frame for it. So I'll probably carve something for it, but this was a Lizzie Kate. But yeah, so as soon as I saw this one, I was like, oh, yep, I'm going to rescue that. So I'll either carve, I don't know. Like I'd like something off the saying, like the end of it says, and saying goodbye only meant until tomorrow. And like doing something like cute with that. But so there, and then I'm going to say last but not least, but I know that there's a couple more things that I'm either missing that I either have out in the garage that I forgot to bring in, or there might be stuff like right over there. But last but not least, I think this was a homespun elegance. I'll have to double check that, but it's kind of half pinned out right now. So, but, and I do have a frame for this that just needs to be cut down out in the garage. Just like a simple frame. But again, like probably too big. Like if it could be a do-over, it would be like on way smaller count just to kind of get things down. But yeah, so I should say that's pretty much it. But that's a lot. I don't even know. I probably should, maybe I'll do like a little counter on the bottom to, if I'm thinking this is an afterthought, I should put a counter of how many actual cross stitches still need to be framed or finished, but we'll see what the total was. So, but yeah, so what my plans are for this week. So the garage is all cleaned out and everything is all nice. So, is to go out there and kind of do like a walkthrough of how I have things set up or how I do things. And then, show a bunch of the frames. Like I have a big like section of frames, one of those IKEA bookshelves filled with frames that I've just collected that you can't resist buying or whatever, or leaving behind at the store. But that would be great for some of these finishes. So yeah, so my plans are to get out there this week, and then I want to do like a walkthrough from beginning to end, like taking a frame and how I cut it down and reassemble it for just like a regular frame, and then doing a walkthrough from start to finish from like pinning out a cross stitch to actually doing some carving. So yeah, so that's the plan. And then I want to do a whips to kind of go through the plan for, I'm doing 𝗦𝗧𝗪𝗑 or how I want to finish off my whips. But yeah, so thank you so much for joining me today. This is kind of a long one, but longer than normal, but hey, that's okay. So sorry if it's a little haphazard, but I'll try to edit out like the little like lulls and the what am I doing or whatever. But so yeah, so I will, again, I'm really going to try and do like a video a week. And there's so many plans. Like today, as soon as I get done doing this, I have to work on some illustrations. I have a class that I have to finish some characters for and stuff like that. Just real world other things. If only my life could always be this. But the plan is to really kind of like take some of like these illustrations that I do and turn them into cross stitches, just like the ones kind of like that I showed you that are older, where I kind of dabbled, but really didn't dive in. So I don't know, you never know. Maybe this is the time to like replace one job for another, or even like while my husband's deployed, it's a lot easier for me to focus on my time because it's just me. So I don't have to cook. I really don't have to clean. It's just me. Nobody else cares. So just eat cereal. So. But yeah, so, and maybe I'll even do a video like that too, just show some of like the stuff I do for illustration. If anybody's interested in that, I don't know. So just to kind of show like the fun things you do in life or whatever. So anyway, so thanks again for joining me. Sorry, this one was a little long-winded, but we got through all those fun finishes. And yeah, let me know if I'm not the only one out there, like how many finishes you have in your bucket. I love seeing, like watching what other people have too, and oohing and eyeing all of their finishes and reminding myself of other things I need to get stitched. So anyways, I hope you have a great week, and until next time, happy stitching. Bye.